All right, guys, welcome to this month's MSEM GP, Grand Prix El Paso. Is that how you pronounce it?
Uh, yeah, this is about right, I think.
Probably.
El Paso.
Are you sure? I'll just assume I'm correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, so second GP after. Oh, what's this after? Wait, did I? Oh, I see. I did not.
The release of Beyond the Backwall and Empty Throne of Fame, I'm guessing.
What?
Second GP since the release of those two sets.
Yeah. Well, since it seems like we're not very talkative today, I guess we'll just go straight into the decks. There actually hasn't been that much balance changes last month, so that's good at least.
Well, maybe before we start, is there anything that like you're looking for as like the big threats in the GP or the decks to beat?
Well, so there's the Thunder Roads deck. Basically, all the variants of the Thunder Road decks. Essentially, they're just control decks that run lots of removal and card filtering, and then they have the top end of playing Thunder Roads Augmented to deal 9 to your face and then flashing that thing back for free, and then dealing some more damage to your face, and then you just die. So it's like it's a control deck, except you don't actually have to be that careful with getting your wins because you just throw out removal and card draw in the early game to find your Thunder Roads, and then you just spam Thunder Roads in late game and kill your opponent.
Sounds pretty good.
And there's also the artifact deck, the mono gray artifact decks. I don't know how those decks work.
The one with the soul lens in it. Do you think that people are going to be teching a lot for that one this GP?
I doubt people are specifically teching for stuff. I mean, like the Thunder Roads control decks run Rot main board or Singularity's Grasp or like some variant of those cards between the main and side, so they automatically have a good matchup into any decks that spam non-creatures.
Yeah.
Including the first deck, which also like spams non-creatures. I mean, so Requiem's literally CFT sock. So this is a callback to when CFT sock played one GP. Like they rejoined. So CFT sock is a player that some of you that don't play custom Magic might recognize. I certainly didn't because I'm not very well tuned into the pro scene, but apparently they're important. Like apparently they recently got a Pro Tour top 8. You know, no biggie.
Yeah, they're known for often bringing some weird lists and then performing unusually well.
Are you referring to Canon Magic or MSEM?
Canon Magic. Yeah, like in MSEM, obviously that's what they do, but then we have a few players who do like that. But no, in Canon Magic, they popularized the Archfiend combo deck, I believe, in a race like maybe like last year.
Oh wait,
the Teaming Archfiend combo.
There's a combo deck other than the Aftermath Analyst one. That's the only deck I know them for.
Yeah, well, they did that one as well. I have not been keeping so much up with recent standard, but yeah, they just kind of bring in like whatever list of cards and it seems to work.
Yeah, that's quite good. But yeah, so before they got their Pro Tour top 8, they did jump into MSEM for 1 month to play in a GP, and they built a deck that used Fire Shaper Adept plus Unbound Expanse. So those two cards go infinite together. You play out Unbound Expanse, you activate the ability, and then you flash in Fire Shaper Adept and copy the ability, and then the ability blinks Fire Shaper, and then you just copy again, and then it just goes infinite. And then if you have anything on board that does something on ETB, then you get infinite triggers of that. And this deck's playing a bunch of damage on ETBs.
Yep. So, is this pretty close to what CFT Sock brought?
Well, CFT Sock was on 4 colors, I think.
Okay.
So they were way more into the combo. Like this deck. So basically, this deck was built by taking Fickle Control, which is basically a control deck that plays all these ETB enchantments alongside Rippling Curtain, which lets you blink them every turn. And then, did they cut Will of a Fickle Lord? It seems like it did.
Fickle is Fickle Control.
They're calling it Fickle Shaper now, except they're not even running Fickle, so I guess it's just Shaper. It's Fire Shaper Adept mid-range. It's a combo. It's a mid-range deck that has a combo finish. Like it's kind of like Twin, except less powerful because you need to have all the pieces. You have to have one of the pieces on board first.
Yep. So how do you think it looks then? What would you rate this deck?
Spiciness. In terms of spiciness, yeah, I'm totally down for it. Yeah. Can you like help me fill out the spreadsheet?
Yeah, I'll get on that. I'll just call it like
Vico Shaper.
fickle list, fickle shaper.
Yeah.
Fickle list, fickle shaper.
How fickle.
I'm gonna steal Nix's spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just rate it in a second after I'm done being destroyed by Nex because deck
No
I'm
worries.
currently playing does not have a very good mono black matchup.
Oh yeah. Well, I should probably take a look into your game right now. Let me boot up Cockatrice.
Oh, hold on. Why don't we get through some more decks maybe? Because we don't want to have this going on too long.
Okay, fine. All right.
It
So.
always goes on forever.
So anyways, Requiem. I'd rate. So their deck is 5 chili peppers because I was partially responsible for this deck. Although they're on the red-white version, they're not. So I think they're actually on the earlier version. The version that I settled on was running Mardu for Chaos module, and basically, so Chaos module has a lot of text, but you can ignore most of it. You only care about the first part mostly. On ETB, you basically get to creative. What's the card called again? Creative. Rowan, what's the card in canon that like technically draws 3 cards or technically?
Ancestral Recall?
No, like the one from Strixhaven.
What?
Expensive iteration, right? That was what it's called.
Oh, that one. Okay, yeah. Right.
So this is an expressive iteration that you can blink. Well, you do need to have like some amount of enchantment density in your deck in order to turn this into an expressive iteration reliably. But if you manage to accomplish this, then yeah, you basically get an expressive iteration that you can blink, and I guess it also does some other synergy stuff. But
Yeah.
But now that since you're not in these colors, you've cut your strongest card advantage / filtering card. So I'm not as high on this list as the Mardu version.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'd say like probably 6 out of 10.
Okay, yeah, I'm pretty happy to sit at that.
I think my rating is
yeah.
slightly more inflated than other people's during last stream. The ratings were a lot lower.
Yeah,
During the last stream, I think
as far as
every
spiciness,
single
yeah,
rating was a 6 or a 7.
6 or 7? Yeah, I'd say that.
Literally every deck.
We can put it at 6, and then depending on how the other decks look, we can.
Okay, so let's move on. Triku, what game are you on right now? When will it be done?
I'm on game 2 and I'm losing badly.
Okay, actually, let's look at Nix's list just to see what Triku is fighting against.
Good dropping. Okay, sure.
Where's so Nix is? Oh, they're on mono black.
Yep.
I mean, they're running 3 scrap metal in the main board as a hedge against aggro decks, and that I'm not sure how.
Okay, so
not sure how it'll pay off for them in this GP because I haven't looked at the other decks, but scrap metal is very powerful against burn because you discard one of their cards. So if you manage to snipe a burn spell, then this is like essentially 6 life for one black mana.
Oh, scrap metal. Yeah, okay. I haven't seen that card before. Has that been seeing play outside of like since I've been playing, or is it a new innovation?
It's a new innovation, I think. Like people notice that this thing absolutely wrecks burn.
Yeah, okay. Do you think Burn's gonna has a presence this GP? I guess I haven't really seen.
I mean, I was on Burn last GP, but I didn't perform that well.
There were a few Burn decks.
Okay, well then with that innovation, maybe it's like because I don't know, but apart from that, this list is like pretty much standard, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you think of Nyx, I think the first deck you associate with them is mono black.
Yeah.
They're even playing the promo pay-ups that they got from when you went up to GPs with mono black.
Yeah, I reckon I'm gonna put them as a 2 chili peppers.
Is there any other innovation? They're running 1 smirk. I guess that's also kind of new.
Okay, yeah.
And the 2 Evil Plan, right? They renamed Plot to Evil Plan because canon magic.
Yes.
Stealing all our names. Gosh darn canon. Gosh darn Wizard of the Coast. Stealing all our names.
There's 3 to because 2 feels pretty low. It's got a few things in it.
And I'm not that interested. I mean, to be fair, like mono black control is always interesting to commentate because it's the sort of deck that has lots of plays, right? So you can always have stuff to talk about.
Yeah, I think that's the thing for me is that I'm putting it up is that like the deck is actually kind of fun, even if like it's a pretty cool deck, even if it's been played a fair bit, you know.
Yeah, in fact, we.
And it's a good deck. So what would you rate it out of 10? Because I
8. No, wait, 8's a bit
yeah.
inflated, right? 7.5?
I'm thinking 7 or 8. Yeah, like 7. We can just
7.5.
How's that 7.5 feeling for you, Triku, right now?
What? Which deck?
How's that 7.5 feeling against your deck right now?
It's feeling quite strong. Yeah.
All right, we'll have a 7.5. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Do we want to keep going alphabetical order?
Yeah,
or
let's go back to the
willy-nilly?
normal order. Oops.
Oh, cool. Great. So next
Oh.
up, we've got a Azorius deck. That okay, I'm gonna leave this for you to explain because there's cards in it.
I have not seen this deck before either.
Oh, sick. Okay, well,
Popcornia's.
it's named after Organic Dreadnought, which is a new card from Empty Throne of Fear Nav,
When you can't.
which lets you convoke it but with tokens effectively.
Okay, sure. So token convoke. They should just call it token convoke.
Yeah.
Like we're in the post fire.
Well, it's not really convert because you can't pay colored mana with it.
Right,
And
yeah.
also, it's not just limited to creatures. So, like, they're playing Wheat from Traff, which gives you a clue token, which they can use to convoke in air quotes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think name is a reference to creature vomit. I'm assuming this deck also vomits tokens onto the board, and
Yeah,
I mean
I think the reference is more just a description.
So self-replication, Turnicas, and they all vomit tokens. I found the identity is interesting. I guess you can pretty reliably exile stuff with this, and then worst case, it's a slightly bad raised alarm. Oh, they're running 3 bioluminescent display. Like bioluminescent display is one of the rudest cards in the format. Like when you when you get got by this card, it just feels really bad.
Yeah. Okay. I think this deck's pretty cool. It kind of reminds me of like it kind of feels like a tempo deck, but just like with it also has just like a bunch of tokens.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
actually they're playing a bunch of pyromancers, right? They're playing
yeah.
like 7 copies of pyromancers.
Yeah, I wonder what they're thinking behind the splits on those is.
I think they couldn't figure out which one's best, so they just hedged.
Yeah, except for like let's just fuck around and find out, right? Interesting. And and I wonder I wonder how Dreadnought's gonna do. Because like I mean it's a pretty good card. Like you get to tap down something every turn with it. So getting that out early is pretty backbreaking.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, so they
certainly not bad.
They certainly can't, and they got Chronicles of the Kitsune and Goblin Chariot, so that their tokens aren't useless.
Cards, yeah.
I mean,
like sometimes they're gonna like do the tokens and get out of Dreadnought, but I reckon like also some games they're gonna win by just killing you with tokens.
They're just gonna win. Yeah, they're just gonna win through tokens.
Yeah, this is a super sick deck. I'm gonna put this as 5 chili peppers. I don't know. Yeah.
I'd say it's for me it's more of a 3 chili peppers because the deck feels untuned, but maybe I'll be proven wrong.
For me, chili peppers is just how spicy it is. Like,
yeah, spicy.
You think that's the rating? Yeah, I won't like.
I'd say
I don't know.
I'd say this is a solid 4 chili peppers.
Do we need to put it there for you?
I just think it's crazy that we put a slight variation on Fickle Shaper as 5 chili peppers, and then this is 4 chili peppers.
Well, that's because I'm invested in Fickle Shaper because I was part of the creation process.
You can do what you want, but then this is 5.
Yeah,
I'm moving Fickle Shaper down to 4 because
as one of the 2 people who made it, I am invested in its success.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Are you joining the sheet toasting?
I guess you can replace Dr. Batman.
Welcome to the stream.
All right. Yeah. Well, okay, and then quickly, what do we think of the ranking of this deck?
5.
Okay, you're right. All right, it's kind of untuned. Yeah, cards seem cool. The synergies are there, but it just doesn't seem like it's quite knows what it's doing yet. Maybe it's a little bit it knows what it's doing. Sorry, it doesn't seem like it's quite got the tuning of something more tested.
It's pretty similar to a deck I built one time, except it's probably better because the deck I was trying to build was doing a stupid thing where you made tokens and then stacked them to Celine the Cruel to draw more cards. It wasn't very good. That's what I was mentioning earlier when someone asked for a mono blue deck. This seems better than that.
Yeah, I mean, look, like that. It does have good cards in it. Like I could see it going to 6 because it's got like Chronicles of Kitsune and Goblin Chariot, which are good cards, and then and like among other cards in the deck, and then also has synergies between those cards. I guess the question is, how good are those synergies?
He has 8 copies of Young Pyromancer.
Yeah. And yeah,
A very
Crossing the Fog is
non-committal
good.
8 copies of Young Pyromancer.
Yeah.
You know,
I was
you gotta spice it up for the
confused by
game.
that.
Again, 5 chili
Mirror
pepper deck.
Soul. Mirror Soul seems generally worse here than like Specialized Constructor. I don't know. Like I guess it has prowess, but don't you want to be tapping your tokens to Dreadnought? Maybe prowess is still good. I don't know.
My theory is, again, just like it would just take them and put in random numbers.
Yeah, that's fair. Bioluminescent display is. I played against that in League a couple times in. I think it was like Chimbikwe's deck, and it really beat me up in League, and that was sad.
Yeah. It's definitely got the potential to be quite backbreaking when you get the right play with it.
Yeah, like I said.
I mean, I don't know. I think I want this to be a 6. Like
Goblin Chariot, yeah.
We can.
Yeah, we've got 5 as like low synergy, moderate power level. This is not a low synergy deck.
Fine,
right?
it's 5.5.
Okay. We take those. All right, let's go next then, I reckon.
All right, moving on. Neon Blue on Birds.
I haven't seen this deck in quite a while. I remember it being pretty good, but I don't know if that's still true. It might be.
Esper, but yeah, right.
Yeah,
it's mono blue splashing Gerard Hoff basically.
It's mono blue splashing Orzhov.
Yeah, for Hoff.
Yeah.
And Hoff has proven to be like super strong in the deck.
It's got Lux Through Dreams as well. But yeah. Okay, that's pretty, and some sideboard things.
And looks like the first game of the GP has already concluded with Engineer winning over Cool Beans. But I guess we can get to their decks later.
Yeah, we can get there. The people can wait. Yeah. All right. So, what do we think of the? Yeah. So you guys were saying that like you've seen this deck before perform pretty well.
Wait. What the heck is Manhet's Edict doing in the sideboard? Why is it playing a 5-man Wrath? Why is this temple deck playing a 5-man Wrath?
Because it's a flying title card. So.
How are you casting this? You need double white. How are you getting double white?
I think that you worry too much. But also, by the time you get to turn 5, you have double white. That's fine. You have 8 fetches.
They're also playing the rest in the side. You can't support these cards off your mana.
Yeah. Okay. Duress is sus. I think. I think this sideboard in general is a bit sus.
Do they have the mana for that? They have the sources for Duress.
Okay, I guess they're playing a fetch mana base, so technically they're better off.
That works. Okay, I believe it. Yeah, if I can play Gerard on curve, I can play Duress on curve.
They're not playing Gerard on curve though. They're playing Gerard like on turn 4 after you got stuff down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good point.
It's just an overrun.
Makes sense. Okay. Yeah, because like you can't block it obviously. Yeah, sick. But I mean, yeah, main board looks good. We have our concerns about the sideboard, especially like specifically maybe the Manhet's Edict. But okay. I mean, how do you the deck obviously looks good. How do you think it matches up into the field from what we've seen so far?
I think it'll do average. That's how Bird usually does it.
Yeah. My first few GPs were on thirds, so I can attest to that.
It's pretty funny that Illusionary Steed is immune to Thunder Road.
Yeah.
Illusionary Steed is what?
It's immune to Thunder Road.
Yeah, because it's immune to the life gain. Yeah, that's interesting. But the thing is, they're gonna have enough creatures to target with it.
Yeah, I just thought it was pretty funny.
Okay, so I rated like 2 chili peppers. I've seen flyers before. I know how it works, and it's not that fun to commentate, honestly.
Okay, but doesn't it give an extra chili pepper for having Manhet's Edict in the board?
No, Neon is never going to be able to cast that card in a real game.
I'm gonna put it as 2 chili peppers and a bird.
Okay, I cannot find. Oh, there it is. Never mind.
I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Okay, sure.
Alright, no worries. Alright.
Okay, so moving on. Engineer, who just won last game. Actually, let's see if Engineer wants to hop in voice chat.
So the top deck of the GP.
Yeah, currently the most winningest deck of the GP, right?
Yeah.
Let's see how fast this thing updates.
Well, Nyx also just won a match. So and Nyx has higher tiebreakers.
Yeah.
So second most winningest deck of the GP.
Engineer.
So they're on.
Yeah, so if we can get in, then that'd be cool. I was gonna pop them into the spreadsheet there.
Cool.
Oh, they're playing the Rhodes deck you were telling me about. Cool.
Yeah, this is Kiowa Road. I think it's a classic 7. This is where I told you 37.
Is this literally the same deck that I submitted to League? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
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 Hey, so that means I
Um,
managed to get one deck, or one of the decks I built managed to get submitted to the GP.
Yo.
Yay.
Howdy.
Hi.
Hello there, and
So you obviously just won with this deck, right? So do you reckon you can tell us a little bit about it?
Well, this is actually my first game with this deck. I was playing the other version of Rhodes in League, and I kind of just
okay,
did
sick.
this version and changed to it. But it felt good. Kai Oro was really good in the one game I played it. Adept also felt really good. Was also felt good in the Shadow deck. So overall, I'd say it's a good card.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I remember wrecking a bunch of
That's pretty
Shadow
good.
decks while playing this in League, so maybe it was
yeah,
even you.
I think.
Yeah, I think that was me.
Yeah.
It was just me and Ian Gitax playing Shadow in League.
So, what have you learned while playing this deck?
The one game you played.
Yeah.
One for one is good against flyers, apparently. I didn't think that, but in game one, I just one for ones them a bunch. And also, Singularity's Grasp is good. I never played with it also before this because it's pretty new, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Singularity's
Cool.
Grasp is insane. It's actually
Yeah, I mean, this deck just has like loads of good cards and does like good things, right? Like this is the deck to beat this GP, right? Or one of them. So
one of them.
We're gonna rank this pretty high.
Yeah.
I mean, Activated Abilities Control was supposed to be the deck to beat, but nobody played.
Oh, okay. I was just like listening to what Ricky said, so I haven't played in like a few months, so I have no idea what's going on. I'm just parroting the streamer.
You know, since I never I never went and got another deck list or got another deck list entry with an updated version of the deck. I guess you never saw the new sideboard tech that I came up with.
Wait, so we ranked this as a 7? I thought you said like this was the best deck.
It's not. Well, it's like the deck that it's the most popular deck.
It's a.
It's the deck that people are talking about.
Deck. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think Mono Black is better than.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, but
No, I can see that.
but Engineer, do you want to know the spicy sideboard tech that I came up with for this deck?
Sure. What is it?
It's A3Os. That's how it's spelled. So I was playing this deck in League, and I felt like I was losing way too much to random stuff like random Grave Hate, like Practice Endeavor. So I looked through the cards, and I think A3Os actually is a valid sideboard choice for this deck because the deck is slow enough to actually play a 4-drop and has the right mana to support it. And if you get this down, like it's really good in the mirror match against other Thunder Roadsy decks that are also on Enopraxias because it makes your graveyard untargetable. It makes you untargetable. So it protects against Thunder Roads, protects you against Grave Hate, and then it also makes their graveyard untargetable by their own things. So they can no longer flash back stuff either once you get this guy down.
Grave Hate that protects you from Grave Hate that also might incidentally gain you life. Yeah, that actually seems pretty good.
And instantly also screws over your opponent's graveyard stuff or any self-targeting stuff. I don't know if there's any self-targeting stuff in the format, but yeah, it screws over opposing Thunder Roadsy decks in 2 different ways.
Wait, which sideboard deck? I got lost for a second.
A3Os, Patron of Silence. I have the card pulled up on my stream, I think. Right, you're not. If you're not looking to stream, I have to actually put the card in chat.
Yeah.
But
yeah, okay. So wait, if this is I'll probably pop this as a 2 then on the spicy scale.
Yeah.
It's new enough to me that I can't put it as a 1 reasonably, but I understand.
I think
it's a very popular deck.
How the deck actually works is interesting enough for me not to put it at 1.
Yeah. Also, Thunder Roads is awesome. Kaiora is awesome.
Yeah.
EHS in a control deck is awesome.
Very clever.
Yeah, okay, that's so sick. Actually, I hadn't even seen that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm not putting this as a 1, definitely.
I had to do a lot of theory crafting to get EHS to work out here.
Yeah, and it gets Singularity's Grasp, which did save me in one of the games that I played. So
yeah,
that's a good thing.
Great.
Okay. Anyways, I'm giving this
Well,
5
do
chili
I-
peppers because I'm invested in this deck and its success.
Okay. Can we like sue Ricky for bias or something? Like.
This is my stream.
Yeah.
This is my
Yes,
personal rankings.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Ricky, you can't have
We'll have to
this
wait. We'll have
horrible
to
bias.
stay true to next.
Unlike me, who has no bias at all towards the decks I've made.
Yes. You are an impartial
It's
observer.
not
All
like
right.
I've
Well,
already given Tron 5 chili peppers.
nice. All right. It's probably time to
Yeah, let's
hop
move
on to the
on.
next one.
Oh,
right?
actually, Nyx. We already covered Nyx.
We can jump past next.
Next,
And we can go to
Yeah.
Trapable's Pitch Pyre Ultimate.
Pitch
I gotta
Fire,
love Pitch Pyre
we've
first. What a sick card. Have we seen this card?
before.
Uh,
Yeah, we've seen
and Nick's
before. I
jumping
think
in.
the last
Hello, Nick.
3 GP.
Hello.
Nick.
Oh, Nyx, you're jumping. I guess you can talk a bit about your deck, even though we skipped.
Oh, mine?
Yeah, we're just on your deck, right?
Yeah.
Or
You don't have to talk about your deck if you don't want to.
I mean, my deck is like a copy paste from like 3 GPs ago, and then it got nerfed,
Yeah.
and then people forgot about it, and I just decided to run it anyway.
Right.
so how's Smirk
Yeah.
been working out for you?
Sorry, say that again?
How's Smirk been working out for you? The
Oh,
one
Smirk
copy
is
of
my
Smirk.
deck. Hold on. I added that one for fun.
Oh,
I felt I was like
like it.
looking at Smirk, and then I was looking at Sultan of Avarice. I'm like, Sultan's better, but Smirk on turn 3, if I play Smirk plus another discard spell, if I somehow had 3 discard spells as well on the a turn 1 and turn 2 play, and Smirk on turn 3, I get to draw a card immediately instead of at my next upkeep.
I see.
Yeah.
But also, it's like,
And
it's
you
like,
get to evil plan.
Oh, and the evil plan. Yeah.
Evil-
If I ever get to 7 mana, I can do that. But also, like,
Very
Sultan,
likely you'll get G-Turn.
Smirk's not that much worse than Sultan in a vacuum, and Smirk is like significantly cuter. So
Will you
if
promo?
I add a main deck, I can
Yeah.
also promo it.
Yeah,
right?
are you going to promo this
So-
Smirk if you win?
I'll try.
Are you
I
going to?
haven't been able to play it yet.
Are you going to find art that's in line with the rest of your promo art for Smirk?
I mean, I've been drawing my last few promos, so I could draw a cat.
Oh wait.
Oh,
you,
that's pretty
you didn't draw your pay up promo though.
Oh yeah, I've drawn almost every promo.
I mean, you could try to. I'll be very impressed if you manage to draw your pay up promo, because I'll be commissioning you at that point.
I may or may not be working on artwork for every single one of the previous promos that I did not draw.
Whoa.
Anyway,
Okay, so
Anyway, yeah.
we probably talked about this deck enough. 'cause
Yeah,
we did
let's move on.
already
So-
cover the deck. Let's move on.
So Ducky, yeah, sorry for calling you in earlier, but you can talk about your deck now. Ducky, are you live? Oh,
Hello, I'm here.
okay.
Sorry.
Howdy.
I mean, it's the exact same list pretty much as last month, although it's like technically an older version because
Okay, so
it was
pretend I
better.
wasn't here last month. What does this deck do? Because I wasn't here last month.
well, yeah, it's an aggro deck centered around Pitch Power Curse, of course,
You love
and
it.
yeah, basically I just try to sacrifice stuff.
Yeah.
It's an
cool.
aggro deck, so
Okay.
I just kill.
Are there any
Read
standout interactions or cards?
I think the biggest I'm specifically changed this deck a while ago to have mainly like 1 CMC creatures. There's only one like 2 CMC creature, and basically I added Egg of Avarice as well, so I can just tutor in whichever creature I want, and a lot of them like Men in Pack or like Volatile Stonework, Herald of Oblivion, like they have
dice
like
triggers and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's pretty cool. So you got kind of a toolboxy aggro-y deck. That's cool. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the spiciness here.
And also, if I could mention another synergy with it, the Draxis Trepanator. This card, tap, sacrifice a creature, target player discards a card and loses 2 life, activates the sorcery. Card is very good with Men in Pack, which when it dies, each opponent discards a card. So there are some potential openings that can just completely rip an opponent's hand apart.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's pretty sick.
So.
And new tech, Line Officer, Joe, that was recently talked about in deck building, which has which is useful for aggro mirrors, as it's a 3-2 with haste, with condition, allows you to do a one-sided board fight.
Oh, that's a pretty sick card. Yeah, okay.
How's Line Officer working out for you right now?
Much better than what I was previously using, which was like the 3-mana snake.
Rapacious Rattler? Yeah, I could see.
Yeah, because it only does maximum like 2 damage to one creature, but a lot of aggro decks, like Pitch Pirate does not have strong creatures really. Like they're kind of just worthless to be thrown away, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of aggro decks just have better creatures. And Line Officer does 3 damage to all of them, which is a lot of the time it's just like a board wipe.
How reliably
basically.
can you enable it?
It's actually really not that difficult. For example, I could just have like a Shikai Revenant and a Lantern Bearer Bell on the battlefield. Or I can tutor in like a Herald of Oblivion sometimes.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. It's just there's a lot of ways to. I get creatures out pretty quickly.
So what?
Yeah, that makes sense. I think most combinations of 3 guys in your deck often gets 5 power.
So one last question, Ducky. Why'd you cut the cat?
The cat.
Mausoleum Resident.
It was too slow. I just want more damage as quickly as possible.
Okay, I see. I mean, Mausoleum Resident is absolutely insane in grindier matchups because you can trigger it so many times each turn. But I can see if you like wanted, you didn't feel like it was necessary in the current meta or whatever.
Yeah, because in this deck it's I don't necessarily care much about how fast I'm dying. I more just care about killing my opponent as fast as possible. Because it's aggro, right?
Yeah, it's also worth noting that unlike other more so resident decks, which will mostly trigger it multiple times a turn, this deck uses just Shikai Revenant and Salon's Messenger, which can return to the graveyard.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna put this
5 chili peppers. I love this deck. It's fully creative.
5? Okay, yeah.
It's even chill boxy.
I'm gonna go for 3.
Yeah, I mean you
I like
the Aggro is like so sick. You have to love Pitchfire. I had it as 4 mostly so I could have the symmetry of my skulls and fires, but sure, I'll go to 5 because it is like such a cool deck.
I've just heard it 3. I like the deck, but I've seen it.
And I'll give it like a 6.5. I feel like the deck is the deck actually a 7, and it's just a 6.5 because I've been playing decks that have good matchups into it.
I couldn't tell you. I have no idea how powerful it is. I mean, yeah.
I'd go for 6.5 so that we don't have everything as a 7 again.
Everyone's deck is a 7, right?
Let's go.
Yeah. Anyone else got any input on power level before we move on to the next one?
Okay, so it's 6.5. Thanks for coming, Ducky. If you want to play your game, you can do it now. We won't be commentating because we're doing something else. So commentate your own games, please, guys. Thank you very much.
Have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
Bye-bye.
Good luck.
So moving on. Test is playing
the surveillance. Total surveillance control.
Is it control? Oh, I guess it is control.
I think it's more tempo.
Well, it has both.
It's tempo
okay,
control.
So this is not Nix's list actually. Yeah. This looks not so controlly. It's got 10 creatures in it.
Yeah, you have Veilborn, Meddler, Total Surveillance, or 1 power anytime you cast.
I hate this deck. By principle. It's a very good, strong deck, but it does have a tendency to play patterns of just smothering your opponent's first 4 turns by playing Cosmics and all the counter spells, because they literally have 23 kill spells. And then recurring them with Cane Dancer, or just using Veilborn as another one, and then smacking you with 1/1s.
Yeah, and
also, notably, this deck has endable things I don't think I've seen before. It wears Total Surveillance.
End of all things is kind of strange for a tempo deck, but I could see it working out. It's removal. It's fine.
Oh yeah, and of course, I forgot to mention this deck with the name is a Mabel of the Seas Whimsy deck.
Oh yeah,
which uses the unique companion mechanic of our format, First Mate, which allows you players to swap it with a card from their opening hand. It's a 3-mana 2/2 with flash. When it enters they gain 2 life and draw a card.
Yeah, sometimes it does stuff. Like I think Mabel is the best first mate just because it always does stuff, as opposed to other first mates which might not do
Yeah.
stuff because they die instantly.
Yeah, card seems pretty good and nice to have that in such a kill spell density deck because it just means you can just grab a threat when you need it. Like if your opening hand needs it, rather. It's unlike Companion, you don't get access to it throughout the whole game. You just have to choose if you want on your first turn.
Why are we explaining like people don't know what first mate does because like they're not used to MSEM? Who's our audience anyways?
I don't know.
Are we?
I don't know,
That could be new people.
I don't know what first
I
mate
wanted to
does.
make it-
Tell me what it does.
Reading the card explains the
Look,
card.
Look, I
does
think it's fair enough
Oh, it does.
that I don't want to seem like I don't know what this card does because I've just said that I don't pay that much attention to the format. So I'm gonna explain it like all of our audience are idiots. Anyway,
You hear that, guys? Rowan thinks you're idiots.
it's true.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Um.
So 2 chili peppers. I do not like this deck. I do not want to play against this deck.
Okay. Right.
I think I'll give it
I think we just have like
Chili
the most completely opposite idea of what chili peppers are. I'm putting this as like 4 or 5. I mean, I'm putting it as 5. It's got a cool new card in it. Gotta love it.
I hate
It's
that
got-
card. I
think
don't.
it's
Like,
cool and fun.
it plays bite command. How
Like-
sick is that? Like,
This
when was
is
the last
a
time you saw
very-
that card get played? Come on, that's so
Yeah.
sick.
Trick, you can say.
I will say that this
Sorry.
is a very cool deck to watch and think about in theory, and it's very cool in every situation except the one where you're playing against it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's 30 decks in this GP, and if I O2 drop, my chance of playing against it is like so low. And
Very true. I'm already
So you gotta,
halfway
like-
to O2 dropping.
You gotta wait until Test plays their game before you play yours, so you know if you can win or not.
I have never thought about that, but that sounds sus as hell.
Hey, that's something that people do in GPs all the time, right? Like during the final rounds of a GP, people will like figure out if they need the
I
ID or
definitely
not.
wanted Scribble to get the 2-peat last GP and get second place and lose the finals.
So can we give this deck a 7 or is it still a 6.5? Do we know if this deck's proven yet?
Yeah, Nick's.
got
You
a
had a
5-0 in
sim-
league.
Oh, okay.
What'd you say?
This deck has got a 5-0 in league, I think.
Okay, sure.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
pop it as a 7.
Okay, moving on. Triku, you can. I'll just give it 5 chili peppers right now while you explain what the heck's going on.
Okay, so this is my 100
Yeah, what the
card
fuck is this?
Fire
Okay.
Weaver
Dick.
Observe for Rayon Storm.
When someone new comes to MSEM, we should just hand them this deck list and tell them good luck.
Hey, look, we already had Dream Sight Minister 8 sack before. This isn't the first time something
Why
like
don't you
this
give us
happened.
okay, what's like? Can you give us a 30-second like description of like this deck? Maybe give us like what the basic game plan is and like a line or two of like some of the sick lines you can pull.
Okay, so
If you don't feel like that's giving too much away.
I have about 3 basic game plans.
Sure.
So, your first basic game plan is the obvious. If you take a look at artifacts, you'll see Dead Man's Hand. Vicky, you can explain what that does.
Okay, so Death Man's Hand, it has an activate ability that you're never actually going to activate fairly. That makes you win the game.
Yep, says target player loses the game. And we will combine this with the where it is Dimensional Reshaper, which is a legendary artifact, which swaps to target permanents share a time. And any permanent with Spirited, such as Imperial Collection, which is a legendary artifact, Spirited. Imperial Silks, which is a legendary artifact, Spirited.
Wait,
draws
it's legendary?
cards against
Imperial
It's
Silks is
legendary. The other one is legendary.
Okay.
So that's your first game plan. Your second game plan is use an artifact again, legendary artifact. Notice there's a theme with legendary cards.
Which one?
We'll use Nexus of Possibilities.
Okay.
1 mana legendary artifact. If you choose one or more modes, you may choose an additional mode. We don't really use this very often. It does have the ability to pay 6 mana to add 2 mana of every type. So it's plus 4 mana on a mana rock.
I see.
And you can use this in combination with the first soul land I mentioned, being Jade Temple, which adds 2 mana. You only use for activated ability. So if you tutor up, say, 2 Jade Temples, you can get 10 mana turn 4.
Okay.
That's a common game plan. And you use that 10 mana turn 4 to play Mastery of the Veil. Choose X. Each opponent loses 2 life. You may choose the same mode more than once. Or, after you played your Unrivaled Fireweaver, with flashing red for, I'm not going to explain what Fireweaver does because I don't have enough time. You can use that to cast a Bloodstained Calamity with X spell again, and you pay 5 to do 10 damage to any target. Okay, next game plan.
I have returned. Sorry about that.
Don't worry, Triku's this.
You have
Yeah.
3 Shining Crusaders, protection from all colours, as long as you don't control your Fireweaver. Have 4 Observer of Aeons, which are big beaters, which are free and grow, and you can just kill your opponent with those. You also have an equipment, being Lifeless Claymore. Equipped each gets +2/+0 and has lifelink that you can use on your Shining Crusader to race most decks and win.
Okay, that's all well and good, but how are you actually getting these cards?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. We have 3 Masterwork Archivists, a new-ish card from MSL. So it's 4 mana. When it enters, you can search for a legendary card, reveal it, and put it into your hand.
Wait, where is
Play
it?
dice to draw a card.
Oh.
Creatures.
Oh yeah, okay.
3x.
Right, Masterwork Archivist.
Yep, so that gets you your legends, which explains the legend package. You have Soul Day, Hiking Craft as a one-off, which has 5 of each, which has 1 of each color. And search your library for a legendary card, put it into your hand. The next legendary spell you cast costs 5 of each color less. You can use this to tutor out 2/3 of your combo, or you can also use it to play Bart's Aspiring Archvillain for free, which is a 5 mana.
Does it so turn off your Shining Crusaders?
It does, but yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot the 4th game plan. 4th game plan is that you can. This is an entirely different combo. You can use your Reshapers, turn your tokens and leftover artifacts into Mysterious Coffer, which has which is your only protection against aggro, has an X ability to return all non-land permanents mana value X or less to their owner's hands.
Okay.
And so you can loop that every turn.
Is this just to get ETBs? Or I guess
no, it's so that you board wipe your opponent every turn.
I see. But it also gets you ETBs, right?
Yeah, it also gets you ETBs, and you can use that to farm more mana by untapping the Nexus. And finally, Egg of Avarice. No, not finally. Tinker's Tools. Tinker's Tools. This is another one of the search. To sacrifice it, you can it's basically a 1-use birthing pod for artifact, and you can increase the cost by X. Final conclusion, before I start explaining the lands. Egg of Avarice. Tap, sacrifice a creature, search your library for a creature card with mana value 1 and put it onto the battlefield. Use this in combination with Harvest Reaper, which has an ability where you can pay 2 and exile it from your graveyard to search your library for a colourless card. And since almost all your cards are colourless, it's basically getting 2-card combo to get a demonic tutor every turn for 4 turns in a row. And onto the land. The reason it's called Tron is because I am playing 4, 4, 2 Soul Lands.
Yeah, so
With Center of Culture. Yes.
Center of Culture. Is Heart of Zadina considered one of your soul lands?
Wait, is what? Heart of Zadina?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of a soul land. Since it's easy to get to 5, since you've got easy tutoring of Mysterious Coffer, just keep on bouncing everything your opponents play back to their hand. So Heart of Zadina is easy to turn into a soul land. Yeah.
You're playing Whiterun Gates.
Yeah.
Wow, you're.
Yeah. It's not good.
Have you ever activated this thing?
Theoretically, if you can activate it off of a single extra possibility activation on 1 mana left over.
Let's see.
Yeah, your 4 soul lands. Send to a culture, which adds 2 if you control an artifact, a creature, and an enchantment. You play enchantment lands and artifact creatures, so it's very easy to activate that on turn 2. Play Change Temple, which adds 2, already mentioned, which adds 2 for abilities, which you can use on the Scavenger Part Fist Reaper. So you basically get Demonic Tutor for 1 mana. You can use it on the Tinkerer's Tools, which makes that effectively 1 mana rather than 2. You can use it on your next possibilities to ramp very quickly. You can use it on your Gilded Spyglass, one of the best cards in the deck.
Oh yeah, right.
Which is, I'm not going to explain Gilded Spyglass, just know it's very good.
It's 2 mana, pay 2 to draw a card, ++.
When you look at the top 5 cards you're live and you draw one of them, yeah.
Are you also playing the 1 mana thing that sacks to dig 7 deep for a card with an activated ability?
No, it hits my entire deck, but it's not good enough.
It's not good enough. Dig 7 deep at that point.
No.
Okay, looks like we're dealing with already enough consistency.
Also,
Yeah.
the deck is too big now.
The deck is 100 cards and it's still too small.
There's 101 cards, actually. There's Kelly Throster's Workshop, which is 2 of, probably should be a 3 of, and spend 2 mana and cast that. And then Artifact Spells, if I have 3 more artifact, which is trivial to achieve. And what else? Sideboard. Sideboard is a classic Unrivaled Fireweaver board. With Conga Psyche to double my Fireweavers. End of the Rainbow to turn my Fireweavers. And my Surfer of Aeons into treasures. Unburden Rage to grief my opponent. I play 4 Tempered Anulkin in the sideboard, because this is the best thing Colourless has against aggro.
Okay, so I see. We just have to beat you with Burn.
Yeah. Although against Burn, I do have Tempered Anulkin, and I can fetch up, whereas they Animus Life's Entropy.
Oh.
Because I play most of my sideboard options in the main.
Like,
this is the return of Dream Sight.
Yeah, this is Dream Sight. This is the new Dream Sight 8 sack, and it's absolutely amazing.
Surprised there's
You can
no
ask any question. You can ask any questions if you want.
How have you done with this deck so far in this GP?
I have played exactly 1 match with it and lost.
How did you lose? This deck looks unbeatable.
Yeah, how could you possibly lose?
And it turns out that when you have no removal and you also don't fetch your removal, you die.
There's no way to deal with
That's right.
this deck.
The 6/6 lifelinker.
Yeah. Jejune just runs at you.
Yeah, we were talking about you can't beat a Colossal Dreadmont the other day, and I was like, that's not relevant, but Jejune is really relevant. I wonder if anyone's going to know Jejune, and unfortunately they did.
Well,
yeah.
Okay. Well, you did take the suggestion of running Sear Flesh instead of Fortuitous Flames, because I said I remember saying that, like, who the hell runs 6/6s these days? 5 damage would be enough to kill everything that's important.
Yeah, I meant to run Fortuitous Flames. I got them mixed up.
Yeah.
Don't you love playing 2 mana at sorcery speed to deal 7 damage after setting up a turn prior with Fireweaver?
I do.
Yeah.
Is this the sort of removal you have to resort to actually to make this deck function?
It doesn't work also.
Kabu.
It's like Jejune just gets indestructible.
Oh yeah, right. That too.
Yeah.
So you spend 4 minutes to do nothing.
Well, then what you do is you have in response to the activation, you have to sacrifice your Fireweaver to Flare of Duplication to copy your footprint.
Oh.
That's not an MSEM.
My actual defense against
let's
Jejune is Citadel of Denial, which is 3 mana and tap to return target legendary creature to its owner's hand. Unfortunately, I also got mana. Unfortunately, I also got mana screwed in those games.
Yeah. 34 lands is actually not a lot for a 100 card deck.
How many lands did
34 land.
run?
60.
34 lands isn't a lot, but I do run Tinker's Tools, which can fetch a land, cantrip.
Yeah,
That's
you should
another
like
cantrip.
usually run about 40-ish, but
Demonic Tutor,
there's enough tutor to
Intrepid.
make.
I run 4 Intrepids. Yeah, I play a lot of tutors.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay, so
Next deck.
yeah,
Cool.
so after that tirade, we're ranking it at 7. Sure, I guess every deck's a 7, so why not?
You probably give it 7.5.
Didn't you just lose your first round?
Okay, but to be fair, with playing this deck, I have also won 6 other games, only lost 1.
Sure, I guess you
Maybe
can give it a
it's better.
7.5.
I may have teched against them.
Wait,
I may have
why are
been
you
better.
mentioning Cambridge? Does you live in Cambridge?
Oh no, Harvard's in Cambridge.
Wait, did we just
I-
dox
I know
people?
that.
Cambridge.
We're on stream right now.
Are we gonna
What?
dox Truk?
What?
Okay, anyways,
Esper Heart Palpitations by Goblin War Buggy.
it's running Mineral Expert. That's new.
That looks terrible.
Look,
I would not play that card. I would play so many cards other than that. Look, just a second. I'm gonna quickly run through a list of cards I play rather than that.
Well, it's for
Bayonet.
combo purposes.
yeah, Kyone
It's
doesn't.
proper familiars.
Kyone does not work with Blink because they nerfed Kyone
Ah,
to not work with Blink.
right. Well,
So I think this is
Wait,
literally your best
What's
option.
the card they're comboing with?
Buggy is currently playing right now, and they are 1-0 winning, I think.
It is.
Wait,
It is. It's proper familiars. You use Ghostly Flicker to flicker the Archaeomancer and Heart of Zidina to make infinite mana.
Oh,
Open the secret path.
but why are they playing?
We
Why are
have
they playing
Brown
Mineral
Yards.
Expert over Weaver of Mist?
Yeah, Brownyard Scavengers, which is 3 mana, but it's 1/3, and it lets each player's return particularly a mana cheaper if you're doing combo. Doesn't matter.
Barrier Scavengers, each player. It could matter against an opponent with counter spells or removal.
Okay, but what about Weaver of Mist?
Weaver.
We have Humble Archivist, which is 2 mana and gives you a fatigue.
That one was brought up to Goblin War Buggy, but they said the skipping draws is relevant here.
Yeah, but it costs the same in total. Doesn't it?
I mean, no, it doesn't, because
Costs 4 in total.
you're not paying for Mineral Expert.
Okay, true. Yeah,
Is this Surveil relevant on Mineral Expert, or are they just using it as an?
I mean,
Arcanist?
Oh yeah, actually lets you get something out of the infinite flickers.
we have Godolphin
Okay.
Reshaper, which costs 1 less with instant source a card in your graveyard.
Well, apart from the improvements we can make to this deck, what does it look like right now? How good do we think it is?
How do you go infinite with this?
We play
Returning
Wrath
Blink,
of God in here.
Like,
Returning Blink,
Yeah.
Mineral Expert, and Heart of Zidina, I think.
oh, does that untap it?
Yeah,
Zidina
Ah.
doesn't.
If you blink it, yeah.
yeah. Open the secret path is our Ghostly Flicker.
So that gets you infinite mana, and Mineral
Yeah.
Expert gives you infinite mill. So you can. Is there like some sort of flashback card that insta wins?
Actually, Mill, yeah.
You can
Yeah.
mill everything and then flashback one of your cards.
Yeah, but what are you flashing back?
You mill your deck is the thing. That's why Mineral Expert's good, because it lets you mill your
Okay,
deck.
yeah, but what do
Oh,
you
wait,
do?
what are you flashing back?
Yeah, what do you do?
Yeah,
do you
yeah,
after you mill your deck? You have nothing to flash back.
I mean,
Do you
you can
use
gain
something?
infinite life with a Johnny. You can make infinitely big Krakens with Juyu Offering Pool.
Can you
Yeah.
do that?
Yeah.
Do you-
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can make infinitely big Krakens if you want to. You don't have to mill your deck. You can just make infinitely big Krakens once you find Juyu.
After you get infinite mana, yeah.
in
That
that,
makes sense.
Oh no, I found it. You use Dust Choked Outpost to make infinite creatures.
Ah, I see.
Hell nah.
No, this is actually this
That's
works.
good.
yeah,
That's good tech. I love
win.
this.
You surveil until you find it, and then that's really good.
How are you drawing
Like that a lot.
for this? Drawing the card off the surveil.
You
Um,
just
I mean,
mill it.
you surveil until you find.
Yeah, but you still need to get the card into your hand from the top of your
Yeah,
Oh,
deck.
that's true.
I'm trying to figure that out.
You had Johnny plus a Johnny zero?
You need a Johnny in play first for that to happen.
That's true.
I mean, there's got to be some way you.
Okay, but also they can just make
depending.
infinite guys or something else, right? And like probably win.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can just gain
there's plenty
infinite
of ways
life
to
with a
win here.
Johnny.
You can Oh wait, hold on. The tech lost through dreams. Put a fatigue on top. Mill the fatigue. Use the fatigue to draw a card.
How are you casting Lost Through Dreams?
Cast something else and counter it. You have infinite mana.
Okay, but you
You
don't
have
have
infinite
infinite
mana at this
cards.
You could get Blink Juyu for more cards.
Yeah, but that requires you to have those cards
Yeah,
in hand
yeah.
first. Like the combo doesn't win on its own.
Yeah. You'll get there somehow. I'm
No,
sure there's
yeah,
enough
you figure it out.
redundancy.
No,
No,
because you just
you
mill
can-
until
you
you
can-
hit Lost Through Dreams, and then you just cast Lost Through Dreams from your infinite mana.
You can also mineral expert. You can get 2 mineral experts to then loop more things too.
Okay, yeah, I guess that works.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I'm sure there's plenty of lines here.
Yeah, I reckon this deck, once they get the infinite mana, they'll be fine.
Does that
Yeah,
Mary
you can
Gate just
find
ruin
something.
this guy's life?
They've also got 2 ancient ossuaries they can
Uh.
discard to tutor it up, as well as an intrepid.
Do they
So-
not run? Oh, they run Lotus Barons, so they have a 1 card in the main board that deals with Mirror Gate,
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
and they can they tutor the Lotus Barons?
Yeah, they've got 3
Yeah,
land
one
tutors,
Intrepid.
intrepid and 2 ancient ossuaries.
Oh, they can use Open the Secret Path on Intrepid to fetch all their lands out. Well, anyways, yeah, interesting.
Because it has a Johnny. That's so reasonable, actually.
But
It has a Johnny, I mean. Like, how do you lose after that? A Johnny plus removal? Like,
yeah, isn't that a control deck?
It is a control deck.
oh, and you could also, like, blink your Johnny if necessary.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. You can gain infinite life with blinking a Johnny.
Do we call it Esper Familiar combo?
You can call it a couple things. It's a,
Let's not call
like
it
a-
familiars. Okay,
it doesn't
like
have familiars.
yeah.
It is the same idea as proper familiars, but without having actual familiars. So
So what do we call it then?
it has the same combo as familiars. I don't know.
Like maybe like
Familiar,
the
that-
combo, like a flicker, fly, open secret parts combo. Like it's a flicker
Okay, sure.
thing. Just name it after one of the flicker pieces, I think.
I'm a pretty
Esper
big fan of this
Mineral.
deck. It's fun.
Esper Mineral.
Wait, Incense Stoker was mentioned, right?
It's red, I think,
Oh.
right?
Yeah, right. You're right. Incense Stoker's red.
Wait, why are you giving an
Everybody-
8? I think 8's too high.
It has a Johnny.
Cool. I'll just like
That's
run.
flat.
Yeah,
I'll run
that's the
6.
answer.
I'll run 56 islands and a Johnny.
You'll win.
And you're gonna win, yeah. How's Burn
That's how you
gonna
win
kill
the
you?
GP. That's how you win the GP.
Excellent.
Okay.
Oh, their only black card is excellent.
Oh,
I don't know how I feel about that. Anyway, whatever.
yeah. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Gao is on not 100 cards.
It's the
Yeah,
what is it called?
it's,
It's the upgrade stack.
Mud
League.
aggro. No, it's not the upgrade stack.
It is
Oh, it is the upgrade stack. Ah.
with all the with like
Experimental
the
upgrades, yeah.
you put like winged steed under a crusader, which is pretty rad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the funny thing about experimental upgrades is that it's random because like you activate it and it flips, and it's at instant speed. So you tend to start like you spin the wheel a lot of times when you're playing this deck, and when you're playing against this deck, as your opponent, like they swing with something and then they tap experimental upgrades, and then you're just hoping that they don't flip anything super broken. Because Restaurant Crustacean,
Experimental upgrades is the funniest card ever.
And always let Fluster Crustacean. Always Crustacean.
yeah, if you're playing, if it's unblocked, they always flip Restaurant Crustacean. If you're playing an aggro deck, they always flip Seismic Colossus.
It's good.
Also, 4x Mechanimind Researcher, which is really good.
Yeah,
Such a great card.
It's like Patchwork Automaton, but it surveils instead of getting ward.
And it doesn't have ward.
and
Yeah.
it's not guaranteed to get you a counter. Actually, is it
Okay, so
guaranteed?
it's not quite like Patchwork.
Is this guaranteed in this deck?
No, because lands.
Ah,
I like that it plays Meletian Trireme. I love that card.
yeah. I was super down on
Yeah.
this card, but apparently they told me that's actually one of the best options in the slot.
It's incredible.
It's basically
For-
Smuggler's Copter.
I guess it's good because you can turn it, you can turn creatures into it.
It's way better than Smuggler's Copter, right? Oh, no, Smuggler's cost 2. Never mind.
Yeah,
Like this.
that's why it's so nice. It's a 2-mana 3/3 flyer with no downside effort.
It is
But-
worth noting that this deck is specifically not taking advantage of
Fire
Central
Weaver.
Culture.
Ultra,
No,
actually.
Central Culture.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty surprised it
There's
doesn't have
no
that.
one drop.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess they just
And
didn't want.
also only one transplanted Citadel.
They can't fit all of them in there.
Yeah.
Simply cut the lines.
Eh.
Look at the lines. The lines are fun
Wait, how are they casting Ostracizer Orb?
with one of the lines.
No, they
Or
don't have the right
Lumen
line.
Ray Fly
No, they
line.
do. They do have the right line.
Oh, they have 4 of them. I see.
Lines and vials, you know. Vials can filter Jade Temple.
Okay.
Why is this called Umbral Ultimatum? Where's the Umbral?
I think it's just a cool name.
I guess, yeah.
Because it's like you're putting Umbras on your creatures with the experimental upgrades.
guess.
Oh, yo.
I guess.
I mean, imagine if there's a card that you can put on a creature and that gives them +1/+1 for each artifact you control. Wouldn't that be nuts? And imagine if it was printed at common.
That would be wacky, I think. Too wacky. Wouldn't happen.
Okay, fine. I guess my joke didn't land. Anyways, 5 chili peppers because this is a really cool deck.
Fair.
And I'll give it
I give 5 chili peppers.
a 6.5, I guess, or a 7.
Oh, we're actually giving Esper Familiars an 8. Okay.
I think this is like closer to a 6 and 7.
Yeah, 'cause you just
I
jinked
give
us.
6.5.
Now Goblin Warbug is going to go on to win the GP by getting some really nutty draws while everyone else is flooding
last
out.
time I gave the GP winner a 4.
Yeah, so it's going to be different this time. The world is balancing.
It looks like Goblin Warbuggy's about to win his game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wait, what are they doing combo wise?
Well, they're sitting there with a Johnny and then removing every other card.
Oh, did they get a combo off in one of the earlier games?
I didn't see the earlier game,
Oh,
unfortunately.
yeah. Let's see if I can watch Cockroaches while also streaming.
That seems unwise.
Their Johnny has 10 counters on it. And yeah, just conceded.
Oh,
He's had enough. God, I hate a Johnny. Why does have protection from half the cards in the game? Anyway.
No, it's okay. It doesn't always have protection from half of the cards in the game. Sometimes it has protection from the other half.
God.
don't worry. A Johnny always has protection from the half of the game that's in your deck.
So true.
And
Yeah. Alright. Yeah, just like I really should have played fish.
I also should have played fish. I was too cowardly to bring fish.
Cybers on government takeover.
It's a VL deck.
oh god, it's this deck again.
5 chili peppers.
This deck is really good against fish, so now I'm glad I didn't bring fish.
It's a Thunder Roads deck.
Yes, it's a Thunder Roads deck, but specifically it's the VL side deck. Because fish basically can't beat VL plus it just that lock is so obnoxious. It just so targets VL targets you, VL targets then no one can ever attack you, or either you or ever.
Just transform BL into a. Oh no, that doesn't work either. Never mind.
So this, yeah,
It's so obnoxious. And then they also have like Fulmin and then minus VL to murder a bunch of stuff. Just like, oh.
they also have Emperor
The
Sai.
Isle Tizan. Yeah, that wraths your board every turn.
BL Sai is very funny.
It's so silly.
I remember
Also,
BL
glitch is good.
I remember
BL using ILs +1 can't damage herself.
Yeah,
because
it's
BL
so
has
funny.
Protection from legendary.
That's funny. Yeah, so this deck should go die in a ditch, and I love I love how this deck was built, but I do not want to see it being played. So I'll give it
I
2 chili
give
peppers.
this deck 5 stars because I think is funny.
BL one is promoted GPA, so it's clearly good, right? It won a GP.
Exactly. Spoken in GTA.
VL will never ever get into the GP promo after this.
Oh, it's already promoted, but yeah.
It wouldn't have gone promoed if the rules didn't change.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the rules did change. I guess VL, we can like congratulate VL for causing the promo rules to be changed.
Yep.
Like that's more impact on the format than most of the promos get. So
Next up,
moving on, Giant Poet. Oh, actually, wait, is Cyber using a good? Wait, Cyber is using the good art for all the cards. They're using good art for Thunder Roads and good art for Forbidden Treasure. Okay, I need to give them 5 chili peppers then.
They're not using good art for VL.
I don't care if VL doesn't have good art. Or doesn't have a version with good art.
Champion promoed.
What?
It doesn't have a version with
You
good
don't
art that I
have
care
good
about.
art.
It's literally Akron from Honkai Star Rail.
I don't. I don't follow gacha games.
I'm so disappointed.
You think I care about gacha games?
Yes.
Okay, I don't actually. Okay, anyways, I'll give it like 1 extra chili pepper just because it's using the good art for all the cards that have good art options.
Okay, next up we have Burn. For those who don't know, Burn is a deck about counting to 20.
It's the Ember Core version. That's cool.
Right here.
It's playing 0/1 drops.
Okay,
This way,
no one
can-
drop.
you can play Ember Core, and then you can use the mana to sack it to find greater purpose.
Hatcher's maneuver is a 1 drop.
Atsu's maneuver is barely a 1 drop. You never want to open with it.
Maybe you don't. I always do.
That's because you're unlucky.
I've never played Hatsuo's maneuver. That's not true. I have. I've never played it on Cockatrice.
I call this Rainy Night Burn.
I like that it's showing up for me as the token Scorch.
No, it is for us.
That's fine.
Oh, that is the token, right?
Yeah, that's something you can do. Apparently, like it's legal, and Giant Poet always does that because they think it's cool.
We're also using the good mountains.
Good mountains? Oh, yeah. Well, it's your own secret layer, so of course it's good.
Yep.
If it's your own promo or your own secret layer, then it's good. If it's not, then it's the bad promos, or you're not using the good promos.
Very wise. Paint with Starflame. That's a cool card.
Why is it in the
I'm gonna
sideboard?
give
That's also a cool card.
Going to give this
I
3
don't know
chili
why it's in the
peppers
sideboard.
because 2 chili peppers for Burn. Plus 1 because it's an interesting build with Burn.
How is this deck supposed? I'm trying to picture how this deck works because without the 1 drops, I mean, at least you got Neon Claw to buff.
It's Rainy Night Lover. It's Rainy Night Lover.
What did you do on turn 1?
You bolt their face.
Okay, what did you do on turn 2?
Oh.
You also bolt their
Rainy Night
face.
Lover
Turn 2?
and bolt their face.
In turn 2, you
Oh,
play
Neon
Neon
Claw
Claw
Knight,
and then
then
bolt
you
their
bolt
face.
their face.
No, that's actually a bad play. You should never. 90% of the time, you should always be choosing the amplify option. It's basically never correct to choose the reduction function on Neon Claw Knight because you're playing burn. You don't
This
lose
is
because you run out of time to burn your opponent out. You lose because you run out of burn. So you always want to be pushing more damage instead of pushing less cost. Anyways, that's
Anyway.
life lessons.
In Supernova, you always. Well, that's not true. You don't always.
Well,
Sometimes you
Ricky,
pick the
what
amplify.
about the
You
burn
sometimes.
mirror?
Oh, Neon, hi. We already talked about your deck, but if you
Mhm.
want to like say a few extra words about it.
Nah, y'all got it. That deck, it's just bad fish. I don't know what I was thinking.
Oh, you're very quiet,
Yeah,
Neon, and
it
you're
is
already at
bad
max
fish.
volume.
Yeah, because I'm on a laptop.
Okay.
Just thought I'd hop in.
Do
Yeah,
you
I
have
lost
any
pretty terribly to control. That was not a.
do you have any words to say about a Johnny?
Lean closer to the laptop mic.
Yeah, so a Johnny is so Planeswalkers having passives is one thing. Planeswalkers having protection is another. That card's a little bit silly.
I can't believe you hate Gaia Drone Dahada.
I don't hate a Johnny. It's just like I do, and I don't know what to do about it.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. In isolate, I honestly think that card is fine. It's just really annoying when my plan against control is hit them with like 2 flyers forever, and then they have a thing that just gains them 2 life every turn. That kind of sucks.
Yeah, we can
the next deck's really good.
form a support group for aggro decks that get beaten up by control decks that gain life every turn.
At least I
It's
wasn't
like
playing
fish.
Prowess. Prowess would have just absolutely probably got domed completely.
Yeah, I mean Prowess has Bite Blitz now, right? So you can just like sneak in a bunch of random damage out of nowhere with your double strike haste, making your double strike flyer Prowess guy hasty.
Yeah, but it should have just been fish on it. I should have just played Legends because I have so many Thalias in that deck that I can pretty confidently beat control. I just get like Ji Feng Fu and like Margaret Barton, but no, I had to try something different this.
Yeah, unfortunate. It didn't work out, so you can at least next month you can try something that actually works for once.
No, we'll see. I think I have a pretty terrible match against control, but
Just don't roll control.
I guess don't roll control. I mean, I had a winning record in League, so it's not an awful. It's just I think Fish has a lot better matchups. But I've talked for way too long. I'm gonna go now.
Okay, bye, Neon. Thanks for coming on.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
I want to mention A Little Blank stack. I was just reading it. This is another serious A Little Blank cook. It's Monument to the Fallen Man, Jade Temple, Unmarked Vials deck.
This is
That's.
Unran Radical Robots.
Did someone find a use for Aaron Radical finally? Outside of
Well,
the
you
broken
fetch
deck?
Power Drive.
Finally.
Outside of the
Oh,
broken
It's
deck.
just a good card. No,
That's
so
fun.
it looks like it uses Nexus of Possibilities, which is funny because it allows you to like cast some stuff better. But you use that, and then you use Enran's Radical to find damning, to find Power Drive, which then lets you choose all the modes, which is pretty funny. It also has Monument to the Fallen Man and Cradle of War to put in Dawson's Jet Slicer.
Oh wow.
And you also have Underhanded
This
Tail.
rules.
This is the
Why?
Collapsing Star.
I don't know how
I'm saying, why is it playing Collapsing Star Viper?
What?
Because it's an X cost
This
thing.
rules.
Unran Radical fetches that.
You
Oh, it's an X
play it on
cost for Enrans.
upkeep to tap someone's land?
It doesn't have flash. Oh wait,
Well-
it does. Monument. Oh my god, that's actually genius.
That still doesn't seem great. Like, all you're doing is
No.
you're putting in all this effort just to tap down one land, not even every turn, right? Or it returns itself.
It
Okay.
is every turn. It returns itself. That's actually cooking. No, that's
You're only
awesome.
tapping
With
one
Monument,
land.
That's so fun.
That's so much effort.
It's
Let 'em
Rashad
cook.
No, I love this. And Unmarked Vials with like Jade Temple and stuff is the classic. And Underhanded Deal, this rules. And the sideboard has Orlesia, First of the Sen.
What? Oh, it can't cast spell during your. Wait, more decks should be playing this. This turns off opponents
It's
on your
a
turn.
mana 1/3, unfortunately. It gets scorched.
Yeah, but in a combo deck or something, like it just turns off the opponent's interaction.
I mean, in a combo deck, you want to just pay 1 mana and win.
Right.
In a combo deck, you want to play Soliloquy.
Right.
But this is really funny. It's like a Xanathar. I love this guy.
It's fun. I like
It's
Spitting
like
Gears
rules.
Abomination.
Yeah, that card's
What
awesome.
does that do?
It's large.
I only see downside abilities on this thing.
Ward
No,
sack a creature? What is
it has-
control gonna do? Find a
It has
creature.
it has one downside ability. What are you talking about?
Look, in modern Magic design, creatures don't have downsides anymore. If it has a downside, it's unplayable.
Alright.
Neon Cloud Knight is in here. That's cool.
What-
It has Damning Flames. That's cool. Yeah, this deck is pretty
Oh,
awesome.
does Nexus buff Neon Claw Knight? If you choose,
Yeah, it does.
it's not just spells. Okay, cool.
That's really cool.
So you make two.
That's really cool too. This deck is super awesome.
Okay, yeah, I'll give it 5 chili peppers, but I don't think is it. I don't think the deck's actually that great.
It's getting an 11.
I like Power Drive. That seems
Power Drive is so cool. This deck is awesome.
deal in Power Drive. You just have Lightning Bolt Plus and Ancestral Recall in black.
Wait, does it give? Yeah, Underhanded Deal is your Ancestral Recall.
How do you get rid of Underhanded Deal once you play it, though?
You don't. You just live with
File.
You sack
can
it.
do a
Oh.
problem.
Yeah, that also works.
Reduce life to 0.
True.
So this deck,
Damage from. Go ahead.
so this deck looks really cool, but I feel like what's actually going to happen is that you draw a hand with all with the wrong half of the deck, and then you die horribly.
I mean, that's possible.
Like,
But
Well,
once the
Blake's
deck
got
is
this.
good- I mean, like, this seems like a pretty classic A Little Blank deck where it's just like very awesome and wild, and like I don't know if it'll do anything, but it's pretty cool.
yeah, it's definitely
Sometimes this type deck just sweeps a GP out of nowhere.
That's true.
most
Maybe
of the
this one
time.
will sweep.
It won't. I doubt it will.
It might,
Everyone's teched against
It might.
artifact decks. Everyone's playing rot these days. I don't think this deck's
but they're
going to
not.
live
They're
well.
not tacked against Power Drive.
What does that do if
Alright.
your board's wiped?
Uh,
It
5 mana. Deal 3 damage.
It's a 5-mana bolt.
cool.
Right.
Control can't beat that.
Candles cutting.
It's composed from Dreams Returns. It's the cramming student. You shuffle
Oh,
a
this,
million things in, and then you use like null paradigm. You use like cost reducers. You cramming student, and then you have like hexcaster, null paradigm, stuff like that, and to cast like
Oh.
a bajillion fatigues and win the game.
Also worth noting with the Underhanded Deal, a lot of the time you won't actually be casting spells because you've got Monument.
Monument. That's a
Oh.
good point.
That's true.
oh yeah, right.
But we love casting spells.
I hate casting. I'll never do.
No.
Are you a
Ah,
control player?
no, they're just playing.
Oh, no.
They're playing a bunch
But-
of
Show and tell.
Age of War.
Show and tell moment.
Well,
Um,
Triku's on the pod, on the artifact pod, right? So they're not casting spells either. Actually, yeah,
That's
Triku's deck
true.
is also running Cradle of War.
Yeah, it's
They're not casting
and
spells.
Tinker's Tools.
Yeah.
It's a Tinker's Tools deck.
Running one
It is
Cradle of
actually
War.
it's actually just 8-sack. It's Dream Set 8-sack.
No.
Maybe it's 4-sack.
4-sack.
It might just be 4-sack.
Cool.
4-sack is much less catchy.
So moving. Yeah, Crush
Anyways,
Castle.
Cramming Student is a funny card.
I think this deck's
That's
still
it.
going to crash and burn. This this deck
I
has
mean,
just never been
That's likely.
that
I don't
good.
think this deck. I don't think Crush Castles is under any illusions that this is like a meta deck, but it's pretty cool.
Did they just did they lose already? Wait, Crush Castles won? Huh? How?
That's cool.
I'm going to give this a 4 in hopes that it wins the tournament.
It already won one game. That's like a good sign.
That's pretty much
That is
the
a good thing.
tournament.
It won
Maybe it'll
against
win
Trap.
the whole thing.
It won against the Pitch Pirate curse deck.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I want to see the replay on that.
You can ping
Yeah.
Trappables for it right now if you want.
I think I should ping Crush Castle.
Is Crush online right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so anyways, 2 chili peppers for a very spicy build, but I don't think it's tuned in a way that I like to watch.
Fair. Next we have Mardu Clearings, Mardu Condors, whatever you call it.
Yay, that's my deck.
It's
Who
another
built
Chaos
this
Module
deck?
deck. I'm glad I like Chaos Module was sort of known, but I feel like I sort of not discovered it, but like I feel like
Populi.
it is really good.
You made it popular.
You're the one that made people realize that it's good even outside of curses. Like you don't actually need to
Yeah,
run
I guess that's
curses
it.
to make this good.
Yeah, that's what I was
Also, damn,
thinking.
main board, hold steady engine.
Yeah, so
It's
yeah,
a pretty silly card generally. It's
I guess
expressive
you
iteration.
really
It also
didn't
does other
like
things.
winning. I guess you didn't like losing to me.
so the problem with this deck is that it has basically no instant speed interaction. Your only interaction right now is where is it? Planar Eviction, which is sorcery speed. So you have 0 answers to the artifact deck for one. So yeah, I'm running 2 host setting engines main just to not die horribly to stuff like your artifact deck combos and like random ETBs that blow up enchantments.
You also probably lose to Rot, right?
Yes, I also lose horribly to Rot and Singularity Scraps, which is why
Yeah.
I'm playing.
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah.
When I was
gonna
playing
bring-
against this deck, I think my only thought is, wow, imagine what Rot would do right here.
Yeah, I was thinking about bringing Fickle Shaper, but I ultimately came to the conclusion that I didn't want to deal with the possibility of Animus and also the possibility of Rot, and like the
didn't I
deck doesn't really have.
Didn't I show you the card that beats Rot?
Yeah, and it's in there. I just didn't like.
I forgot what the card was called.
I just
Ricky?
generally don't feel
This
like.
deck,
I just didn't feel like playing a deck that gets hosted by Rot right now because I had the feeling that a lot of people were going to be playing it, and I didn't
this
feel
deck
like
should
doing that.
play. This deck can play Observer Veil.
I don't think it. No, this deck doesn't spam the board with enchantments. It spams the board with
spams it with
tokens.
creatures.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you only need like 4 out for it to be good at the moment.
Really?
I'm gonna nerf some ANS affinity token cards real quick.
So basically, we were talking about Rot and how Rot absolutely ruins me. So this is why I'm splashing blue, or quote unquote splashing blue, for Bind the Mind in the sideboard.
Bind the Mind, yeah.
Yeah.
I think this map base can support Bind the Mind. I'm not sure if it can, but I feel like
Bastion.
it should.
You have Bastion and Marketplace. You're fine.
And you're
Yeah.
Watch me get
I
mastered.
can hit by Bind the Mind. I can hit by Bind the Mind from Ricky twice and completely circumvented it those times.
This is why I'm running Hold Steady Engine now. Yeah, but otherwise, so the other main interaction in this deck is that Conjure Clearings plus Butterfly and Rebellion is absolutely nuts if you can get both of them going at the same time, because now every enchantment you play makes these hasty condors, so suddenly getting the 3 hits in is getting like 3 creatures to connect every turn is very easy, even if your board gets wiped. So basically, you're pretty safe against creature board wipes as long as you have some number of enchantments in hand and you got your engines going. And also, Chaos Module is pretty good at helping you refuel. If they ever interact with your enchantment board, then suddenly you're in a huge amount of trouble. So you're just basically praying that Rot does not ruin you, or that Singularity Scrap doesn't ruin you. I guess even if you get rotted, the Glow for Grove at least gives you 1 token as a constellation prize. I mean, it's not the reason I'm running this card, but it's a funny side effect of what the card does. Yeah, but otherwise it's just Condor clearing stuff. Except we have expressive iteration that you can pick up with.
I still feel like I still feel like Condor clearing should not give vigilance. Those things have vigilance, and it's so sad.
No, we deserve enchantment players deserve something good for once.
That's true. They do deserve something good.
Remember back when Slapfield Wiki was 1 mana? Those were the days.
Oh boy, I do.
So I'm gonna give it.
We should play Bastion again. This time it just actually has indestructible.
Yeah, if we have 8 copies.
It used to have hexproof.
Oh wait, it did?
Wow. In playtesting, Bastion had hexproof. Yeah.
Wow.
He sure did.
It actually had ward too.
Really?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. If there was like 4 more copies of Bastion, I think I could actually play Arrive Surrounded by Petals in this deck too, and be able to actually carve out with that. So anyways, give this like a 6.5. This deck gets wrecked way too hard by Rot for me to be comfortable with playing. So moving on, Dr. Batman is playing the other Thunder Roads deck.
It's the first of the Thunder Roads deck. It's also Kyora Roads, but it's also known as Experiment 6 because its combo finish is it makes 6 Experiment Zeros by flashing in at 0 on their end step. I'm also playing this deck, to be clear. It flashes in an Experiment 0 on their end step, tutors the Tail of Kings, and you untap and cast that, ideally spending Wooburg to cast it, and make 5 copies of 0, and then you have like some of them tutor Thunder Roads and then some of them free cast it, and then you hit the opponent for like a bajillion damage.
Yeah, and then
alternatively you can tutor like high arrows if Thunder Roads are already in the graveyard.
Yeah, and you're also running these main board rots, so you're well prepared against BS decks that spam the board.
I think my version is only playing 1 main board rot right now, but I can't remember. But yeah.
And then you're also running Pith Wields, so you can blow up stuff.
Yeah, this deck is why I have just business in my sideboard.
That makes sense.
Does that actually help?
Nice.
Yeah, it makes them sack Kyoro. That's really
Instant
good.
speed, sack a legendary.
Huh.
I could make them sack glitch when they cast Tail of Kings. Oh wait. Yeah. Wait, no, Tail of Kings isn't.
There's also
Yeah, it can fizzle Tail of Kings. Right. Okay.
There's also related to Fizzle and Tail of Kings, a really funny thing happened. Me and Caillou are both on this deck. We're playing round 1, and last night, in preparation for it, we were both playing this deck in League, and we had a funny mirror where I tried to 0 for Tail of Kings, and then we got into a funny spot where I cast Tail of Kings, and then Caillou flashed in 0 to plus and kill my 0, and then since 0 can activate as an instant on your turn, I then plus 0 in response to kill Caillou's 0, and then they just killed each other.
Like you can actually. Yeah, that's hilarious.
And then I lost the game, but it was funny.
I also love how the deck's playing a lot of graveyard hate in sideboard. They got 2 CL Tombs and 3 Praxias. Probably because Caillou was a bit traumatized.
And 2 Ulton.
Yeah. I ended up, my sideboard is a little bit different. I was worried about being able to deal with possible Animus. That didn't end up showing up as much as I thought it would. So I put a couple unhappy endings in there to deal with Animus. And I didn't feel like there was going to be a ton of graveyard stuff going on, so I think I cut this old tomb. I don't remember. I put a sideboard together I changed it up last minute.
Yeah, I don't think the deck really.
Cube Night.
I don't think the deck really needs this much grave hate because you have Reveal Eternities. You're pretty well. Actually, I guess this version isn't on Endless Helpless Souls, so it doesn't have as much dig as the other Kyora Roads version. But this has a good matchup against the version that Engineer was on because you have the grave hate.
All right.
So.
Holy shit! Is that Pod Walker? No.
Yeah, it's Curses. This is a deck I was starting to build, and it looks like Cajun came to it separately, which is kind of it's Curses, but it also uses Unbound Expanse. This isn't using I was considering whether or not I was using Fire Shaper a little bit to use it, but the main thing here is it's the Curses shell with Leech Bite and all that, Hunter's Mark, all those good cards, except you're also using Unbound Expanse, which is a nice card when you get to flicker down with the ship and substack exploit and middleware like a bajillion times in their upkeep.
And it's also player
Nice.
chaos.
So that
It reminds me.
you make a whole bunch of chaos module too. You make a whole bunch of curses and then you flicker them and thought seize them with curse across the air. You make them discard, and you draw extra cards. You flickering like 2 middlewares gives you 4 cards, which is a lot, and some with substack exploit. So yeah, I was concepting this, and Cajun seems to have made it a reality, which is really good to see.
Is Damon Prince actually any good? Because I feel like this card reads really badly.
It's played pretty well for me when I've played with it.
Bad for X in Arena.
It's a 3-mana 3/4 that draws you a card every end step, basically. Except the one time when it didn't draw me a card was the time when I was playing against Death's Shadow and they paid 16 life to it and then they killed me.
It was the drawback. 3-mana 3/4 with drawback.
Yeah. It was really funny though.
Also, notably in the sideboard, we have Right to Rule.
Oh.
I don't think I've seen that before.
Didn't see that yet. Oh, I did see that. No, I did see that.
Yeah, I literally showed it to you.
Yeah, you showed it to me, and I saw it, and I forgot about it.
You make a 1 draw card. You can also sacrifice it, protect yourself against rot. Yeah.
Yep, it's good rot tech, and then also Curse of Bleeding, the classic, because this deck is ultimately kind of a burn deck with like some of the things like its win condition is via like stack exploit burn and controlling the game via that kind of stuff. So life gain is obnoxious sometimes. Pith wilts are good. Inexorable Epidemic sometimes just wins you the game. That's fun to see. I enjoy Pathless Shallows. Yeah.
This actually reminds me a lot of the Kalen curses deck I tried to build last month. Except I guess instead of Kalen, it's Unbound Expanse that's doing the bouncing. And I suppose it probably works out better for a deck anyways because it's an enchantment, so you can maintain up your enchantment synergies and lets you use your enchantment-based mana.
Hey, Toasty.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about like Seto-san instead of Damon Prince? In that you just -1 Seto to get whatever.
That is a real thing. I was thinking about that. The main issue with that, I was thinking about it. The main issue with that is the mana.
Double white.
Yeah, it's double white, and it doesn't. We play 12 5-color lands that don't cast Seto-san.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Woven Network and Bastion are both awesome here. Seto-san is Seto-san passed my mind, and I was like, oh, a 1 double white is like Seto-san is nuts in this deck. Like it would be so good. It's pretty awkward with how things turn out, but like it's a thing to consider. But at the moment, everything is an enchantment, and that's ultimately why I cut Yarog too. Like both the pop-offs were pretty rare, and also so much of the time it was just kind of awkward to cast, and I wanted to have better mana.
That makes sense.
Also, notably, Woven Network in the mana base.
Yeah, that one. That's one of the 12. It's pretty cool.
Makes sense.
Aura Shaper spells, and most of the deck is auras.
Yeah, so I'll give this thing 5 chili peppers. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan of curses. I love this deck.
Same. Don't know how good Curse is, but I love watching it every time.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Experiment 6. I think this deck is not interesting to watch.
I'm giving it. I'm having to give it 6 road emojis.
Yeah.
Oh, Podwatcher, GP Podwatcher.
Yeah, so I made this
Podwatcher is finally in the GPE.
I know, right?
You're in the big leagues now. It's not the leagues, it's the GPE.
It's been like nerfed 6 times already, and it hasn't won or got in top 8 in a GP yet. It's kind of crazy.
Lumi Orthodox? What is this card? Oh, I've seen this card.
Lumi Orthodox is there because it's a 2/5 that a lot of decks just can't kill. So,
what an odd card.
Being able to limit your opponent to 1 spell every turn is pretty awesome.
Not Commanding Princess.
I made this deck a while ago. Is it updated? It is, I think. Royal Domain is
any BTB or ETF cards.
What is Royal Domain? I've never seen this card ever.
If you were looking at the deck, it turns out every single card that costs 3 or more, well, a lot of cards that cost 3 or more require double or triple pips, and that sometimes messes with you. And so Royal Domain, if you have 1 copy, what is Cascading Cataracts?
I don't know. It does it for like 5.
Sure, yeah.
From Almoncat, yeah.
But Royal Domain lets you fix for Bloodjade Prophet, which is triple black, Louis Orthodox, which is 1 white, and then there's a couple of double whites and also Ancestral Council.
Ascended Explorer is here?
So the combo is Ascended Explorer, Banishing Initiate, plus Channeler of the Veil.
Okay, that makes sense. Wait, you mean Confining Priest, right? Not Banishing it anymore.
Sorry, Confining Priest, yeah. Banishing got nerfed.
And there's
Princess is still
also
here
the
just
fact
because
that
it's a good card.
Dark
And Dark
Behemoth got Watcher combo. Yeah.
Yeah, the classic.
Then that outlet.
So you just combo for or / tutor for whichever parts of the combo you draw, and if you don't draw, you kill them like as a normal slowish taxi aggro strategy.
It's sad we can't cast Bloodjade Prophet with all 5 colors.
Oh no, they have Adam of the Ironside. They can't play Adam of the Ironside as the first mate.
Wait, why?
Oh no, why not?
Dark Behemoth.
Oh no! That's so sad. No, no.
Do they know that?
You have to.
Do you think they're gonna
if
get?
You side it out. It's tech. If you side out Dark Behemoth, that's where you bring. That's where you bring in that Adam.
Wait, so if you reveal Adam and you don't actually have the right cards in your deck, how would the opponent know? Like, do you get a game rule violation for that?
I guess they can watch replays if you ever.
You can use cheat.
Just yeah, I guess your opponent has no ways of verifying if you're not cheating.
I mean, if you reveal Adam and then they play Dark Behemoth at any point, they could get asked for game loss.
Yeah.
Oh, do you think everybody won't realize that they can't actually first mate the Adam and they're gonna get a game loss in their first game?
I'm not gonna message him.
Actually,
that'll be funny.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious. Let's try to get Epic's first game on camera.
We can see if they watch this stream or not.
Yeah. Hey guys, if you watch the stream. Don't first mate the Adam if you watch the stream.
And like and subscribe to Ricky Rester.
Yeah, so
Marister.
Or Chili Peppers. Next, do you think this deck's a 7 or a 6?
Which one? Pod Watcher?
Pod Watcher is like a 7 or an 8.
I think, but it's not too good in this current meta. There's a lot of single target removal running around, which Pod Watcher struggles a little bit against. And also, Pod Watcher's not too good against counterspells. What is good is that there's not too much graveyard hate, so if you do draw the nuts, they can't really stop you.
Yeah.
Arby's, we have the nuts.
Yeah.
Also, Nix, what is your perspective on? Do you have an opinion on whether the Kyoro Souls build or the Increment 6 build of Rhodes is stronger?
I would have to go with Rhodes. 6 was never like tested against all control decks, I think, because no one plays the control league.
It was tested. I played it quite a few times against other Experiment 6 decks.
Yeah. Experiment 6 isn't really a control deck. It's more like a really control mid-range deck that wins.
It has a combo.
Yeah.
And I think control does much better against the X version instead of versus the Rhodes version.
Well, from my experience,
it's also Rhodes. It's just not playing as focuses.
Right.
It's just like EHS version and Experiment 6 version to reduce confusion. And from experience in League, Experiment 6 version is advantage against the EHS version because the Experiment 6 version actually runs Grave Hate in the sideboard and I don't, which is why I was thinking about playing A3Os in the sideboard because that actually beats slowish decks on Grave Hate. But I never got the opportunity to try out the tech because I stopped playing the deck in League and started grinding League with enchantment or counterclaim decks instead. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Styles is also on VL.
I just want to say VL was not designed for any of this. It just kind of happened.
Yeah.
It was meant to kill Solus Cecilius.
Hey, did it manage to kill a single Cecilius in its winning run?
No, it never resolved in its GP winning run.
Did you not bring it in the mirror match?
I brought it in multiple times, including the mirror match. It got discarded.
Why would people discard that card when you can't even cast it?
You're scared of the Cecilius. Killing the Cecilius.
I could create a treasure and cast it.
Yeah, but then that's
somehow.
super telegraphed.
Alternatively, if you have Polypole, you can then cast a second VL off the Polypoles if you have a VL out.
Read Polypools.
Oh, well, yeah.
I think VL was a post-nerf Polypools, right?
I don't remember.
It was the very GP that they nerfed them. They got promoted.
Okay.
We're riding out tonight.
And moving on. Oh, actually, did we copy paste everything from the previous VL roads? Well, you can do that. Moving on. Iron Taxes. Death Shadows again. It's Death Shadow. It's this deck. They're only running 2 reconstructed adepts.
This is the deck that beat me up when I cast Demon Prince.
Stubborn
really
Denial
funny.
is surprisingly annoying.
Yeah, I think Iron
Yeah,
Tax's
that card is good.
main contribution is finding out that Stubborn Denial exists in this format and realizing that you can actually do things with it that Modern Death Shadows also does.
Also, I like that Inopraxia's works with Herald. I forgot. I keep remembering that that's a thing.
Yeah, that's a really cool
Also,
interaction.
Keylong Gust is a cool card.
Keylong Gust gives you insurance against burn so that you don't insta lose the burn.
It's proof, right?
Yeah, or I don't think it's actually that great against burn because you might as well just counter it with Stubborn Denial. But yeah, it's another removal spell.
No, the real tech is that it deals 3 damage to yourself to turn on your Death Shadow.
Ah, I see. Yeah, that's never
It
happening.
enables Inked Summoner.
Wait, could that play ever be correct?
Sometimes.
I mean, maybe sometimes.
They're not playing for
It's
rules.
a deck.
It seems very unlikely to be correct, but it's probably correct at least once.
Can't you just make the same play with Scorch?
You can. That's why there's 4x Scorch. It's to burn yourself.
You know, in case all the pain lands don't actually do enough. You know, you can start wasting
it's in
cards
case-
to do it.
Well, it's in case you go into the Ponza matchup and they destroy all your pain lands, then you have to Scorch yourself to get your Death
How are you
Shadow. in
casting
range.
Scorch if they destroy your pain lands?
You have to play a mountain every turn.
They don't have mountains in their deck.
I know, I saw that and
Just
immediately
back
realized there's no mountains. You play Nebula of Empty Gold. Wait, no, that hurts you.
You played Nebula last turn and you want to activate your thing
You
again.
play Blood River and then untap with it.
Ah, I see. Keeping a hand with Blood River and no other lands.
Yeah, against Ponza.
Dodgers actually on fish.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm glad Dodgers back on Fish because Fish is awesome. I'm sad they didn't bring it just because
Okay,
I
Iron
love this deck.
Tax is on Death Shadow. Do you rate Death Shadow a 7 or an 8? Or a 6? It's a 7, right?
7.
Yeah, sure. I'll get 4 Chili Peppers because Death Shadow is still really fun to watch. It always leads to super tense games,
Yeah, it's
which
cool.
makes it good to commentate. Okay, so Dodger is on Merfolk, the deck that Neon wants to be on instead of Flyers.
Yeah,
the better version
it's
of
also
Flyers.
the deck I want to be on. I don't actually want to be on it because it's so bad into VL. It
Just counter it.
It's
Merfolk has counter spells. They have
well, they just all. I don't know. Whenever I played against VL, it was just so bad. I don't know why.
oh, they're not playing any bounce. They're not playing Sunken Ambition.
Yeah, it's a slightly different version. It's a slightly different version. It's the one Goblin Warbuggy played last time. I didn't get time to test it out. So I just played the classic Merfolk. It's only playing 2 Bone Tooth Turner, which I feel is kind of iffy because that card is consistently one of the most important cards in a lot of situations for you. It time walks you against like Rot and stuff like that. But it's playing the Emissary of Dark Tides build, which can be quite good.
Emissary of Dark Tide.
Rushwater Raider is necessary because it's a 1-mana Merfolk, and sometimes it does do good things, but sometimes it's just so bad now.
Yeah.
It's so rough that it's like, oh, it feels so shitty to upgrade it.
But you still have to play all these copies just as because it's a 1-drop that sometimes goes nuts.
I'm not sure. Like sometimes it does go nuts and stuff, but like I might play the more Bone Tooths over it, but I'm not sure. Like Goblin Warbuggy made this version, and like
Yeah.
My version, like this one, is a little higher curve. It's playing more Agents of Deception and Emissary Dark Tides to go with the Scavengers and stuff. I normally sideboard the Agents, but because I find there are a lot of matchups they become awkward.
Thanks for joining.
But yeah, I trust that Goblin Warbuggy does know what they're doing with this because they have like been pretty good with it in League and stuff, and so it's another interesting.
You think it's a 7 or a 7.5?
I think Fish is very good. I think it's probably a 7.5.
Okay. How close are we to the end? Oh, we still have a. Excuse me.
We're pretty close,
How slowly have we been going?
I've personally been walking in and out. But yeah.
We can go faster.
Okay. Next up, Cool Beans is on Flyers.
Yeah.
It's a different Flyers though. It's the Temporal Insight Flyers, so it's like 1,000,000 cards.
It's still playing Power Jam, which is garbage. They shouldn't be playing that. And for that,
It's pretty funny though.
Okay. It's probably a 6.5 then.
Power Jam good?
Power Jam's garbage.
I think it's not.
It's not good. It's a trap. Don't play it. Watch me be.
Was it Gao who said it was good?
Yeah, Gal said it was good,
I
and
don't
then
know,
they
he's-
actually tried playing with it, and then I don't know what their conclusion. But my conclusion was that's bad.
Clock of Seasons. What?
Clock of Seasons where?
The sideboard.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
It's burn hate.
I guess.
It's also
Yes, that makes sense.
I mean, also 2 life is a decent chunk, I guess.
I mean, but it's worse than just attacking with that creature.
It's worse than a Johnny.
That's true. No, it's not. It's 3 life. Johnny's only 2 life.
Oh, true. A Johnny's
it's
useless.
true,
Never
you
mind.
got it,
Everyone
Johnny.
to Clock of Seasons.
Yeah, new control builds, Clock of Seasons. Oh my gosh, actually, wait. No, this is actually genius. Because with Midnight Dreary, you can tap the things, and it triggers Midnight Dreary to make more spirits to
Oh
tap
my
with Clock
God.
of Seasons.
You can just be running Terraformer's Hope, right? Like that also triggers Midnight Dreary and it garbage in other
Yeah.
situations.
You're not realizing the Clock of Seasons tech. You can mill people out with it.
You can mill yourself. It's target
It's
player.
true. Anyways, yeah, it's birds.
Two Chili Peppers because at least it's 100 cards.
Okay, Ricky deck moment, but I made horrible adjustments. Actually, what are the horrible adjustments?
They have Lamp God instead of Old City Engine.
And also, there's Conspiracy. Were you playing Conspiracy?
No, I do not. I was an Onyx. I didn't feel like playing Conspiracy in this deck.
What is that replacing?
It's replacing Glowspore Grove. Okay, so they're replacing one of the 1-mana token makers. That's already not a good sign.
Iffy.
Although,
I guess they did say it's horrible adjustments.
I mean, to be fair, like Glowspore Grove is pretty low impact, so maybe if you think that the deck's main strength is the fact that you're triggering counter cleans a bunch, then basically any 1-mana enchantment will do, and the extra thing you get off Glowspore Grove, whatever.
It's fair. Nox bound no more on the sideboard. You had that too, right?
No. What would I be
didn't?
playing a 4-drop in the sideboard?
I don't know.
Nox
It
is
seems
incredible.
It seems really, really good. I played against it in the field test, and it kicked my ass so many times.
Was the card do?
I played it in field test. It kicked people's ass.
Yeah.
It's just like Vivian. Sort of, you activate it twice every turn, you exile a permanent, and then
And then I had no downside.
And you being like you go to the Malice Blade.
It minus ones to X permanent, like Helena the Awakener. It can also +1 to. It can also 0 to hit someone for 4. It can also +1 to gain some life and stuff.
yeah, you like hit someone with all your creatures and gain a bunch of life.
Yeah,
I
you can do
someone
that
with
twice.
Zeus, they take 8. I mean, it takes I gain 6, and then I gain another 12 on top.
Now you got me interested. Okay, but how are you beating Rot?
Oh,
Nox.
yeah.
Wait,
You're not
wait.
Rot. None of these decks will beat Rot.
No, wait, Nox does.
You think Nox is 4 mana?
Survives Rot. Wait a minute. This can actually work. Okay, so you play Nox I mean, it survives Rot, and then you just plus again next turn while you have an empty boards.
No, they rot and then you hit them for 4 every turn. I think.
How are you hitting 4 with an empty board?
You just play
You
artifacts.
play a card
Or
and
you enchantment.
roll twice.
Okay, so you have to not overcommit to your board first to not make that play.
Or you just hit it for 2. That's still like a substantial amount.
Nox just dies after that, right? Like it's not hard to kill a planeswalker that can't get loyalty.
It is because you already used your rot and it doesn't work on Nox.
Does it just
We all know that's the only removal.
does it
in the
just
format.
die to Thunder Roads?
It doesn't die to Thunder Roads if you are very nice to the Thunder Roads player.
All right, let's keep going.
Okay, Herbivore is on the off. I was brewing them, which is Oath of Druids.
Yeah.
You cast Olton Surveyor to give them creatures, and then you play Apex's Oath, which is Oath of Druids, but not as good. And you try to put in some creatures of varying strength.
Okay, so this thing creature cards.
You just hope you don't hit Ulton again with Apex's Oath.
Basically,
Sorry, Wild. Oh, so Sorry Wild skills change with itself.
Sorry of the Wild is not actually that good. It only has like a 60 to 70% chance to hit. The main thing is it's there for density,
I see.
if I remember correctly. He is there because it can turn other people's things into creatures and use them for oath.
God, no.
How many? Okay, so you can get 3 modes off Ocean Surveyor even if there's nothing on board, right?
Yeah.
No,
'Cause
not
you can
that in
shuffle
general.
it
Yeah,
empty.
3 modes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess you just like play Ultin, choose 2 modes, and then try to oath them.
This is the best way to give your opponent creatures.
There was another one that is 1 mana, give your opponent 3 1/1s.
Right, that one.
And what's it do
And that one
after
is-
that?
It's kind of bad. All it does is create 1/1s for your opponent.
It doesn't do anything. Cast it for 2 minutes. Also get a 1/1 yourself.
Why is so? What's the point of that card?
Give them creatures.
Okay. But you literally only
Um,
have.
And with
Yeah, you literally only
it
have.
also has a Roshi Blade of the Always in the sideboard, which is a good card. At least in Revolution it was.
This is opponent creatures though. You literally only have Ultin to give your opponent creatures.
Well, yeah, you just hope they have normally. You hope they play creature, and if necessary, you give them.
See. Okay, but they are on for 8 communes, which I appreciate.
Yeah. There's also like Fungal Swath and this, which I love that card. So it's like,
They're playing
Oh,
Primal
Lance.
Resurgence, and they're using the good art for it too.
yes, Primal Surge to ramp into a turn 2 Oath of Druids.
This might be one of the few times where Primal Resurgence is actually good post nerf.
I mean, it was good briefly in Rimho.
Yeah, before they killed the deck.
Yeah.
Seems like a cool deck. I'll give it 5 chili peppers.
Yeah, I'll also give it that.
Wait,
It is a cool deck.
Who's taking care of the spreadsheet right now? So someone help me with the spreadsheet.
I'm working on this spreadsheet. So,